I just got off a consultation with a family going to Maui for the first time. 7 days. They had booked a luau, a snorkeling boat trip, a helicopter tour, the road to Hana, kayaking, a food tour, and they wanted to add a day trip to Oahu to see Pearl Harbor. When I asked why Pearl Harbor, they said, well, we'll probably never come back to Hawaii, so we have to see it. That one sentence. That's what I want to talk about today, because that belief that this is your one shot at Hawaii is quietly ruining first trips for so many people. Okay, so this is something I see constantly. People treat their first Hawaii trip like it's their only Hawaii trip. And I get it. Hawaii is expensive. It feels like a huge deal. Maybe you saved for years. Maybe this is your honeymoon or big anniversary. So there's this voice saying, we have to do everything because we might not get back here. But that mindset, it's making your trip worse. I've had multiple consultations where people added a full day to Oahu from Maui just to see Pearl Harbor, sometimes even an overnight. And when I ask about it, they don't actually know what's at Pearl Harbor. They haven't researched it. They're not especially into World War II history. They just think they're supposed to see it. So now you're spending a whole day of your 7-day Maui trip flying to another island, renting a car, driving there, waiting in line, seeing something you're not even that interested in, flying back because you think you'll never come back. Or people book every single activity: luau, snorkeling boat, helicopter, kayaking, food tour, and then they make dinner reservations every night. Their whole trip is just driving from one thing to the next. I had one couple tell me they needed a vacation from their vacation. The scarcity thing, it makes you overpack your schedule. You overspend because you're cramming everything into one trip instead of spreading it out. You island hop when you really shouldn't. And it puts all the pressure on the trip to be perfect. Here's what I want you to think instead. I will be back. That's it. Just that. I will be back. Because when you actually believe that, you don't have to do everything. You can skip stuff that doesn't match what you like. You can say no to the famous photo spot if it means an hour of driving each way. You can pass on the expensive helicopter tour and save that money for next time. You can spend 3 days just at the beach, just swimming and reading and letting your kids play in the sand. You don't have to fill every single hour with a paid activity. And I know what some of you are thinking, but Marcie, I don't know if I'll be back. This might really be my only trip. Okay, even if that's true, would you rather have one trip where you're stressed and rushed and spending all your time in the car, or one trip where you actually relax? Because when people try to do everything, they don't experience anything. They're checking boxes. They never just sit with the feeling of being there. They miss those random moments that end up being the best part. But also, most people do come back. I see it all the time. Someone keeps their first trip simple, falls in love with Hawaii, and they're planning the next one before they even leave. That's way more common than doing one massive trip and never returning. So what does this actually look like? When you're planning, ask yourself, am I booking this because I want to or because I think I'm supposed to? If it's supposed to, just skip it. You don't need to see all the must-see spots. If everyone says you have to do the road to Hana, but you hate long drives and get carsick, just don't do it. It'll be there next time. Build in empty days, days where the only plan is to go to the beach. Those usually end up being people's favorite days, but they're the first thing that gets cut when you're in scarcity mode. Be honest about your budget. If you can't afford the luau and the helicopter and the snorkeling boat all in one trip, pick one. Do that one really well. Save the others for later. When you spread your budget across multiple trips, you actually get more total Hawaii experiences. And this is going to sound weird, but keeping your first trip simpler makes you more likely to return. You're not exhausted, you're not broke, you didn't blow your whole Hawaii budget on one overpacked week. You had a great time, you're recharged, and now you want to come back. Versus the person who did 4 islands in 7 days, spent thousands on activities, came home exhausted, and now associates Hawaii with stress. You don't have to eat at every restaurant you saw on TikTok. You don't have to hit every photo spot. You don't have to do every famous activity. You don't need to see every waterfall or beach or sunset spot. Pick the things that match who you are and what you actually like doing on vacation, and save the rest. I know there are expectations. Your friends tell you all the things you have to do. Instagram makes it look like you're supposed to be hiking and snorkeling and eating shave ice and watching sunrise from a volcano all in one day. There's pressure around what a Hawaii vacation is supposed to look like. But the best trips I see, the ones where people tell me later it was perfect, those are almost always trips where they did less. When they gave themselves space, when they weren't trying to check all the boxes. So if you're planning right now, try something. Look at your itinerary and find one thing you can cut. One activity, one restaurant reservation, one whole day of plans. Cut it. Leave that space open. See how that feels. I'm guessing it feels like relief. If you're feeling overwhelmed trying to figure out what actually matters for your specific trip, what to prioritize, and what you can skip, that's what I help with in consultations. We talk through your interests, your budget, what kind of vacation recharges you versus drains you. We build an itinerary that's designed for you to enjoy, not to impress people. You can book at hawaiitravelwithkids.com. I also have all my favorite resources and guidebooks at hawaiitravelwithkids.com under the Hawaii Resources tab. If you want more on common planning mistakes, check out Episode 5, The Biggest Mistakes Tourists Make in Hawaii. Episode 28, Top Mistakes Couples Make on a Hawaii Honeymoon. And Episode 58, The 5 Packing Mistakes That Ruin Your First Day. They all connect back to the same idea. Do less, enjoy it more. Your first Hawaii trip is your first Hawaii trip, not your last. Plan like you'll be back, because you will. Thanks for listening. Aloha.